Hello and welcome to this month in gaming. In a month, a lot of gaming related stuff happens, so much so it's hard to keep up with it all. So for your benefit and mine, here's what's been going on this February. Yes, I know it's like the end of March right now. Let's roll the down titles. Go. First up, let's take a look at some of the bigger release titles that came out this February. XCOM 2 was first out of the gates and into the arms of fans who were desperate to welcome back the prodigal son of strategic alien punting. These fans have been waiting a good 4 years, which is the normal development time of a game, come to think of it. But yes, 4 years since XCOM Enemy Unknown, but was it able to please all? Well, critics on Metacritic gave XCOM 2 a generous 88. Fans were a little less wowed over, with a score of 70. Still good, but 70. A few days later, Firewatch was out for digital download. Created by the team who made the award-winning Telltale game, The Walking Dead Season 1, Firewatch saw you play as a troubled man who wanted to get away from it all after he found out his wife was Australian. God. Or was it something else about the wife? Actually, come to think of it, I can't remember. Anyway, the bulk of Firewatch was well received universally. However, it was the ending that split players' overall opinion of the game. Personally, I thought the ending was a perfect summary of how much we want to believe. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna stop myself there, just in case a few more of you want to play it. Critics gave Firewatch an 81, with fans at a slightly lower score of 72. But in case trekking through the Wyoming wilderness was not your thing, another small game was released on the same day. Unraveled saw you play as a little knitted character called Yanni, as he tries to rekindle the memories of his aging owner. I know, I didn't know it was about that either. Cute, heartwarming, and sometimes sad are all words which could describe the side-scroller created by The Fight Lights Out developer Coldwood Interactive. The game was received with mixed, but positively mixed reactions, with critics giving it a 79 and fans giving it a slightly more heartwarming score of 85. Leaving the new IPs behind us, we have the kind of fifth installment in a game series? Anyway, look, it's Street Fighter V! And holy hell, the fans were upset. Here are just a few of the comments. Online mode is unplayable. Single player mode is non-existent. This is not worth 60 plus effing dollars. This is how companies destroy great games with great gameplay. GG Capcom. English may not be my native language, but that does not stop from writing my discontent about what Capcom did to this game. Believe it or not, there are over 650 of these negative responses. So, it's no surprise that overall fans gave Street Fighter V a 32. Oh my. However, it seems Capcom has deep pockets, as critics gave Street Fighter V 77. Not one critic gave this game a negative review, so when it comes to buying Street Fighter V, it's completely up to you who you listen to. My bets are on the fans who've been playing Street Fighter since the 80s. And now on to our next release. So, what do you do once a series churns out 3 sequels to an unrelated game, which are now all starting to seem very similar? Well, you go back to your roots. And by that I don't mean the first game, no, you go back to the species' roots and set your game way back in 10,000 BCE, or if you like, the minus 999th century. That's right, it's Far Cry Primal. In this game you can tame animals, kill Neanderthals, or catch them having a quickie with a mate. The game surprised a lot of Far Cry players once it was announced, but the caveman Noogie Noogie was one feature no one saw coming. And in fact, I'm sure a lot of people spilt their hot coffee once they found these randy sailors. Now, Primal was given what seems to be the average score a AAA game can get of 76, with fans giving it a 61. As we come near to the end of February, we also find a game series that's come to the end of the idea box. It's Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Modern Warfare, I don't know, it's stupid. Anyway, fans liked it, I guess. Anyway, the last surprise release of the month was Superhot. We first played Superhot as a browser-based game in 2013 as an entry into the 7-day FPS challenge. After a successful Kickstarter, and a full game was promised. No release dates or pre-order options were announced. But on the 25th of February, the game was released via the Superhot website. And then came the gifts of players speedrunning through enemies perfectly. A few criticisms of the game came from the short campaign and level design not really branching off too far from the web-based game. But it seems a unique slow motion feature and design aesthetic swayed both critics and fans, with critics giving it 83 and fans giving it a 67. And that wraps up all the big game releases this month. Last month, Oculus was first to reveal its price for the Oculus Rift at $599 or £500 for us Brits, setting somewhat of a price bar for VR headsets. Well, this month, Valve's HTC Vive pushed the price bar higher, letting customers pre-order their headset for $799 or £689. Why the $200 more, you ask? Well, the HTC Vive offers all the experience the Oculus has to offer, but it was made to be a walk-around VR as opposed to a sit-down VR. With the Vive, you're given 2 sensor cubes to place around your room, which are able to pick up the headset and the 2 motion controllers which also come with the Vive. VR consumers seem to be a bit more interested in the Vive, as the general opinion is, if you're going to do VR, you may as well go for it. I like the spunky spirit. Sony has yet to release any price information on its PlayStation VR, which many gamers are hoping will be below the $599 mark. However, Sony are hosting a private venue to speak about the PlayStation VR on March 15th, so by next month we may get a price tag. And as recording this, we did. So that's the Oculus Rift at $599 coming out between now and April time, and the HTC Vive for $799 and is also rumoured to come around at April. And now it's time to move on to what fan of the show Jamie Peacheye 28 loves the mostest. Who's been hacked today? And would you believe it, it's those crafty chaps Armind again. And it seems that they were climbing the famous YouTuber tower, with the attack of Markiplier being somewhat of a stepping stone towards the current subscriber count winner, PewDiePie. However, it seems like nothing really came of it. They uploaded their theme song, but that was it. Nothing else. In the end, it was brushed off rather quickly with no repercussions. So, well done Armind, another pointless attack. Other than that, it's been rather quiet on the hacking front. From hacking to backing, we shift our view to what seems like a sad end to a Kickstarter-funded indie game, Ant Simulator. A video was released in which lead developer explained that the game was cancelled after the game's 2 other programmers had secretly been spending all the Kickstarter money on booze, restaurants, and strippers. Why not release the game in the current form, I hear you say? Well, the 2 ex-friends told the Ant Simulator lead programmer that they would sue him for breaking the LLC agreement he signed, which he now believes was written so his 2 friends of 11 years could pull this whole thing off. What a sad way to end a relationship. Ant Simulator lead developer entered the video stating, "It was supposed to be my first step in, really taking a shot at video games as a career, but I have to start over now." From one indie game disaster to another, but not for this developer, but for the fans. Well, they were seen that way by the reaction to the news that DayZ clone H1Z1 would be coming to PS4, but as 2 different games. H1, the single-player campaign, and Z1, the multiplayer survival mode, would be 2 different games, both being sold for $20 each. Unlike the PC version, which now seems to be like a H1Z1 bundle, which you can buy all for the same price as one of the PlayStation version. Is this a cash grab, or are the limitations of the PlayStation 4 finally coming out for all to see? Now, indie developers messing up isn't something that's uncommon. When we get professionals, AAA game developer level kind of thing, well, we get some interesting insight. Sony have been proudly releasing the sales figures for the PlayStation 4 since its launch in 2013. But Microsoft? Well, they've been a little bit more reserved and haven't really released any sales figures since its release. But not to worry, EA did it for them. In an interview, EA CFO explained they estimated that 55 million current gen consoles, not including the Wii U, had been sold. At the start of January, Sony boasted sales of 35.5 million PlayStation 4s had been sold. So after a little math, we find out that Microsoft has only sold 19.5 million Xboxes. That's still large, but it's just only half of what Sony has sold. Microsoft haven't commented on these figures. From letting slip records to not checking records, and this time developer Naughty Dog was caught being sloppy when they released their story trailer for the much anticipated Uncharted 4. Don't worry, the trailer was great, but when Drake looks at a painting which indicates a need to return to adventure, he's looking at concept art for Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Black Flags. Oops, which Naughty Dog had not checked up on. After being called out by Ubisoft, Naughty Dog released the same trailer a few hours later with a different picture taking place of the stolen picture from a game about pirates. Oh. So before we move on to game announcements, let's appreciate what happens before they are officially announced. Rumours! Red Dead Redemption 2, Crash Bandicoot's back, the PT collaboration is back on. That's all for rumours this month. Last month, LEGO released LEGO Marvel Avengers. This month, they announced LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. Previously, LEGO had always released games with 2 or more film stories included. With this new LEGO series, it seems with each new Star Wars episode comes a new LEGO game, and I'm not complaining. LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens is out June 28th. Fallout 4 was met with mixed feelings and emotions upon release, but one thing Bethesda promised was DLC, so no surprise when the trailer for the DLC came out displaying several add-ons. A mechanical edition named Automatron lets you create your own robots, another edition named Wasteland Workshop lets you create battle arenas and more. And the last one we know of so far is named Far Harbor, an off-coast map stated to be the biggest DLC map made for Fallout games. The first DLC, Automatron, will be released March 22nd. Last month, Nintendo dropped the announcement of Detective Pikachu. Not the Pokemon games fans were expecting. However, 1 month later, a new Pokemon game was leaked the day before Pokemon's 20th anniversary. So one day before the planned announcement, Nintendo announced what all fans have been waiting for: Pokemon Sun and Moon. Based on those Pokemon that look like a sun and a moon. Pokemon Sun and Moon will be released sometime this year. Very stupid. That about wraps up for this gaming news this month, but before we go, let's take a look at some of the bigger release titles coming out next month. The long-awaited Ubisoft game The Division sets you in a post-epidemic New York in which you play as part of a unified organization named The Division, tasked with taking out unruly citizens in hopes to bring back order to New York. The game was first shown at E3 in 2013 and has had gamers excited ever since. After public beta, a few concerns arise, like enemies becoming walking sponges, taking in far more bullets than their hoodies and winter jackets would usually take. Despite these concerns, fans are still set on a day one purchase. Good for them. Don't let those beta testers sway you down. Well, this will be the second Tom Clancy released game on the current consoles, with Rainbow Six Siege of last year and one Ghost Recon Badlands to be released sometime next year. March 11th will see the first installment of the episodic release of Hitman. In the first of 7 installments, we are given 2 training levels seen in the beta and the Paris Fashion Show, which boasts a map bigger and more detailed than any other in past games. I'm looking forward to it. Fans of the series are pretty miffed about the episodic release. Developers say there's enough content to keep players busy and really appreciate the scope of the level. Personally, I have already pre-ordered Hitman and played the beta. Guys, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie. Looks great. And would you believe it, Nintendo are out with another Pokemon game! And like Detective Pikachu, this one splits off from the main Pokemon series. Sort of going back to Pokemon Stadium? Well, they're both in stadiums. Like Hyrule Warriors was the hybrid of Zelda and Dynasty Warriors, this new Pokemon game is a cross between Pokemon Stadium and Tekken! Yep, that's right, Tekken. The game where you collect chickens for health. Well, what a strange hybrid. Well, what's this called, you ask? Pokken Tournament. Yep, Pokken Tournament is due for the release on the Wii U March 19th. And lastly, this game coming out called Knights of Azuri, coming out for the PlayStation 4. It's from Japan, so expect big eyes, big boobs, really soft voices, and lots of female grunting. Knights of Azuri comes out March 29th, and I couldn't give a monkeys. And that about wraps it up. Well, I've been Under the Moons, and I hope you're all up to date in all things gaming, at least for this month gone. Thanks again, and remember, if you play violent video games, you're 87% more likely to kill a prostitute. This has been Gaming News of the Month, of the weeks, of your lifetime. Thank you, and good night. Ooh. I need to use this. Your microphone on.